We are now recording. Welcome to Take Command of Your Business with Northern California, Hawaii region, as well as the Maryland, DC region. We host these classes on the first Wednesday and the third Monday of every single month at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And every week or every class, so every 2 weeks, we have a different topic. Today's topic, for those of you who joined early, we discussed a little bit, is all around designs. We're going to be talking about a really great new feature that rolled out recently around how you can actually order print marketing right from within Command. Previously inside of Command, we had the ability to order, print, and have mailed postcards through our campaigns applet. Now we have the ability to order, print, and have shipped print marketing right from our designs applet. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. And we are going to talk about some different use cases that you might choose to use print marketing and why you might have it printed and mailed to you, ultimately saving you time, maybe even saving you money so that you can spend more time being more human with more people, leveraging the relationships that you have, spending less time running around printing copies or flyers and different things like that. First thing I'm going to do is type into the chat box. As you know, those of you that have attended in the past, I love to provide resources in this class. If you click on the link in the chat box, it'll take you to an answers article that'll walk you through everything we're talking about in today's class. Literally, how to make and order print marketing. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Here's what we know. In real estate, we're constantly prospecting and marketing. We're either prospecting based, marketing enhanced, or marketing based and prospecting enhanced. Either way, designs is all around marketing. So designs applet on the left-hand side, the third applet from the bottom, is all about doing social designs, print designs. We can even do email designs to use in smart plans. And there's even a smart video editor. Now, today we're talking about ordering prints. This is a new feature. It rolled out just in the last 2 weeks inside of Command. Previously, if you made a flyer inside of Command, and you wanted to print that flyer, of course, you can download that PDF right onto your computer, and you could print it in your office computer or office printer or a printer that you have in your home. However, a lot of agents were requesting that they wanted to do high quality prints right from within our system and not have to send those files off to another place. So agents, you on the call, were taking these PDFs and you were downloading them in what we call CMYK, or ultimately 4-color print options for industrial printers. We're taking that PDF and we were emailing it off to Staples or Office Backs or any office supply or print house to have them printed onto like a heavy cardstock with maybe some UV coating on top of it to really give it that extra pizzazz, as opposed to just 20-weight printer paper, very flimsy flyers that we're used to seeing in many open houses and things like that. So I'm actually going to go into my print option here inside my design templates. I'll also mention we're about 4 minutes in. We only have about 20 minutes worth of content today, and then I'm going to open it up for general Q&A. You guys can go in and poke around and play, and I'll hang tight and answer any questions that you guys have. But just know I don't have 45 minutes worth of content here today for you. So many of you will be able to go take an opportunity and actually spend some time behind your computer, maybe even ordering some prints here. So again, I'm inside designs and I'm going to click on print. Here I have a flyer that I had created, and I'm going to open that flyer, and then I'll show you how to go and create a flyer from scratch and how to do it then. However, many of you have already created a flyer or maybe a postcard or maybe even business cards. There's a lot of different things that you can do in it. Now, before I open up this flyer, I want to open up that support article that I put into the chat box. And for those of you that are just joining me, I'm going to type it into the chat box again really quickly so that you have it. This help article walks you through exactly how to order prints in designs. It is important to note this little note right here. The order print functionality is limited to a handful of different template types. I mentioned already that flyers are included. Business cards are included. The brochures can be done, certain types and sizes of them, and a couple other design template types. Postcards, for instance, isn't listed here, and you can order postcards. Your big limitation is that it can only do two-sided printing, so it can't do like a 6-page document or a 30-page document like the quarterly magazine or your listing presentation yet. It has been highly requested, and we're already working with our vendor to figure out how to do multiple page designs. But right now we can do 1-page and 2-sided prints and have those shipped right to you. It is a minimum of 10 prints and a maximum of 1,000. Of course, the more prints you do, the better price you get. And then they're going to mail that off to you. Now we have step-by-step instructions on how to do this, but I'm actually going to go ahead and open this up live for you. So I'm going to click on a flyer that I have inside of my print design templates. When I click on this flyer, you'll see this is a 1-page flyer. I grabbed one of the luxury templates and I actually just changed the color from an orange color. I like the Kelly blue, or like kind of a robin's egg blue color. I think it works really well for this. And so I actually changed out the color there. I didn't really change very much else. I did change the area because the placeholder for this flyer was in New York. And so I just kind of changed it to be specific to California, where I live. Now, of course, changing all of the property details is just as easy as any other flyer there. Now, historically, you would download that print. And you might notice just yesterday, we had an update on how to interact with downloading a JPEG or a PNG. If you want a PDF standard, so just a real simple full-size page, or if you want a high-quality PDF for printing. Now, either way, you don't have to worry about downloading at this point if you're going to order a design for print. What you're going to do, obviously, is we're going to hit this button that says order print, and it's going to take us through a multiple step process. And all the instructions are on the screen, but I want you to see that here. When I click order print, it's now going to bring up a little dialog window on the right-hand side. It's going to give me a couple options. First and foremost, by default, it's going to drop you in United States. If you've got an IP address north of the border, just bear in mind, if you see the Canadian flag there, you're going to want to change that back to United States so that you've got US dollars instead of Canadian currency.
I'm watching it as a webinar kind of thing.
Okay, so you're not like.
We got them muted. All right. Now, the first step is choosing paper thickness. Depending on the type of design, you might have up to 3 different thickness of paper. For flyers, you have one option, and that's what we call standard, or this vendor calls standard, which is what's called 90 to 100 pound weight. When you're dealing with paper, you deal with weight. Fun fact for you, what that is how much does a ream of 500 pages of that thickness of paper weigh? That's the weight. So think of it this way. When you have a printer paper, you get that ream of printer paper. It's in a brick about this big. That weighs about between 10 and 20 pounds. That's the weight. Now, if you go to 500 pages of standard, this is about 100 pounds. So this is about 5 times thicker than a standard printer paper. In fact, 100-pound cardstock would typically jam up most printing machines, which is why this is such a great option for many of us. In order to get that thick of paper, oftentimes you have to go with a print house. So this is a really great option to be able to do it right from command. Now, if you're ordering business cards or postcards, you might have a couple other options, maybe a little bit lighter than this and a little bit heavier than this. But when you go to make your first order, I wouldn't recommend ordering 1,000 of them. I would start with an order of 10. An order of 10 of this flyer is $11.85. You're looking at about $1 per print. And you do pay for shipping. And so I would start off, if I was going to do one of these, I would actually probably order maybe 25 of something. That'll get me 87 cents, or even 20 will get me 87 cents a copy. It's going to save me 30% on whether or not I just ordered 10. However, before I go and pick the number of copies, we do have two options on paper stock: silk or uncoated. It's important to note there's a little tip icon here. Paper stock protection is a good way to protect your print against scratches and color rubbing off, especially on heavy colored documents. Here's what I'll tell you. If you're going to write on this document, like with a ballpoint pen, you want uncoated. Anybody that's ever had business cards printed with UV coating, you know that a ballpoint pen cannot write on there. And a lot of people like to write on business cards. So oftentimes we say uncoated for business cards. So if you're ordering business cards through here, which you can, I would do uncoated. Now, if you love writing all over flyers at open houses to write notes and give to clients as they walk away, you might choose to do uncoated as well. However, silk is probably the option you want to go. This is going to be a little bit between a matte cover and like a high gloss UV coating. That's silk. Now, bear in mind, you can write on it with Sharpie, but not a ballpoint pen. So that's the big caveat, or the big thing to keep in mind with silk versus uncoated. Now, the next option when I hit continue is going to be review the file. When I hit review, it's going to bring up a couple new boxes on my design. The first one is what we call the bleed area. This is ultimately that red border on the edges. And in print marketing, what that means is you want your edges of your design to be inside of the bleed area. In other words, these blue boxes around the corners, we want those to extend all the way into the red area, because that bleed area is basically the buffer zone of where the professional printer is going to cut the design. What you have inside of, just inside of that, is this green dotted line called the safe area. So think of this, the bleed, you want any think of it this way, anything that doesn't have font or verbiage in it should go all the way out to the bleed line. Anything that has verbiage or anything that you absolutely do not want to have cut off needs to be within the safe area. Good news is you have a quick little tool tip right here that's going to walk you through that when you're doing this for the first time. And if you find that you want something changed, here's the cool part. You can just grab it. Let's say this photo is really close to your safe area and you really want to make sure the far left side of this photo doesn't get cut off. You can actually grab it and move it around on the design. So I might pull it right up to the edge of that safe area. Now this font is just kind of going over that a little bit. In general, in design, I'm okay with that photo being cut just a little bit. And so I'm just going to take it and move it right back to where it was, and I'm good there. Are there any questions about the bleed area and the safe area? Clear as mud. Love it. Okay, good. Next step is you get to download the print PDF. That's important. You have to download the print PDF in order to go to the next step. That's going to process it, download it to your computer so that you can review it before you send it off to be printed. It's going to prepare the file. There we go. Now it's downloaded and I can check this box. And then I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions. If you want to read those, you can click agree to terms and conditions and you'll be able to read those there. Now I have a copy and I can take a look at it, make sure that I like the way it is. Nothing's blurry. It's good. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. You'll notice step 3 is finalize. When I hit continue, it's going to ask me for my details and shipping address. So my name, my email address, my phone number, and then my delivery address. This is probably your market center or your home office. It's important to note when you're ordering design prints, they're going to mail the entire package to one address. This is not like campaigns where you can actually have postcards printed and then mailed to 200 individual addresses. This is designed to have a packet of print materials, business cards, postcards, flyers, whatever you want, and having them all bulk shipped right to you so that you can use them for an open house. It's then going to ask you for your credit card information, at which point when you put in the address, it's going to give you your shipping choices. You're going to have multiple different shipping choices. Let me just pull up the help article so you could see that, so I don't have to put my credit card in. When you get to the shipping, it will look a lot like this. You're going to have an option for smart post that's going to get to you within 4 to 8 business days. So if you're not in a hurry, you're ordering ahead of time, you could absolutely use the least expensive option. Now, if you need something to get to you as quickly as possible, you, of course, can do the standard overnight or a FedEx 2-day. Both of them are delivering between 2 to 3 business days. I would probably do the FedEx 2-day. It's a little bit cheaper than a standard overnight. However, if I'm not in a hurry, but I want it faster than possibly 8 days, I might choose to go with ground residential, which should get to me within 3 to 4 business days. That's all there is to it when it comes to ordering design. So the last thing I want to do is I want to show you how to create a print design from scratch and take you to this next step. Chris, Oliver, I see you raised your hand. How can I help you?
Hi there. So with all the shipping part of it, does it look at the shipping address to modify wherever it's printed at, whatever manufacturing facility where it's printed at, they know where those different shipping times and all that will be?
That's exactly right. The moment you put your billing address in to this area, it's going to look for their closest print house. And then they're going to give you a hard cost for shipping from that print house to your delivery address.
Okay, great. So there's sounds like there's multiple print shops then around, or print offices around the country to.
They have, yep, print houses strategically placed all around the country. Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of this print and I'm going to close this. And now we're going to actually create a print design from scratch. So again, we only have about 10 minutes left of content, and then I'll hang tight and answer any questions. Don't hesitate to unmute yourself or raise your hand. I do see a question that came into the chat box. Isabella said, will there be direct mailing or mail merge for postcards? Isabella, yes, that actually is already doable. That's done inside of the Campaigns applet. The Campaigns applet allows you to actually print postcards and have them mail merged and delivered right to your database or to a farm area. So that's done inside of Campaigns. That's been available for about 2 years inside of Command. This is for bulk print designs for flyers, postcards, PDFs that are sent directly to you. Great question, Isabella. Okay, I want to create a flyer from scratch. So I'm going to I go to designs, I'm going to click on print, and then I'm going to hit the green plus button at the bottom right. When I hit that green plus button, I'm going to have a couple options: email, social, print, video, import. I'm choosing print at this point, so I'm going to hit next. It's now going to take me into the design template library. Everything on these pages are going to be designed to be printed. And you'll see as you get here, everything is categorized on the left-hand side of the screen based on what your needs are. And notice up at the top, you have categories of each of the different design fields as well. So let's say I want to go into listings and I wanted to do a just listed flyer. I'm going to click on just listed. And now up at the top, I can go find flyers. And here's 3 different flyers. If I wanted to make postcards, I could come in and grab a postcard instead. Or let's say I wanted to do a just sold flyer. Now I can grab this particular flyer and I'm going to hit use. That's going to bring me into the design editor. I want to show you a couple quick little tips. As this loads up, I'll be able to change a couple things. The first thing I'm going to change is I want to actually change out the coloring. A lot of you have a particular brand that you market, and you might use some different colors in that brand. So I'm going to go ahead and change this red color to a different color. Maybe it's your branding. I'm going to choose, I just clicked on the red box. I'm going to choose that red color, and I'm going to change the fill color to one of my library colors. And I'm going to actually do, I'm going to do black on this one. And then I'm going to come down to this one and I'm going to do black again. And I'm noticed down here, I've got a little bit of formatting going on. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to grab my name, move that up just a little bit. And then I'm going to change my name by double clicking on that area. And I'm going to type in Zach Younger. I'm going to make it 2 lines, just like it was on the design. I could come in and I can make any edits to the phone number. Before I clicked on a text box and I double clicked on it, and then I get a cursor and I can move that around. However, when you click on a text box, it's important to note there's 2 ways to edit a text box, just like there's 2 or 3 ways to do anything inside Command. Some people like to double click inside that text box and start making changes just like they would in like a Word doc. However, you can also click a text box and hit this little typewriter icon. This is easier for a lot of people to edit a text box. When you click on that, it's going to bring up all the font inside that text box. And sometimes it's easier on our eyes to actually see the contact information or any information that I want to make a change there. So I might add those numbers and hit save changes. And of course, that's going to update on the document. Now, every document inside Designs has what we call a DBA logo, doing business as. This is where you get to replace your logo with the DBA logo. So I click on the DBA logo, and then I go over to logos on the left-hand side, and I'm going to grab one of my logos. I'm going to go ahead and just grab my branded logo, and I'm just going to drop it right on top of that logo. Now, in California, it's important to note that if you're marketing your business, your broker's logo needs to be on it in equal or more prominence than your own. So I do want to keep a Keller Williams logo on here. So I'm going to go into logos. I'm going to go to company. I'm going to go into Keller Williams, and I want to grab a black Keller Williams logo. Drop it right there. Nice. I like that. I think it feels good. It's good design, not a lot of color, but it's minimalistic. There's some companies out there that really specialize in minimalistic designs, and you'll see that their marketing actually looks a lot like this and something that you can do. Now, I did it in about 4 minutes. Now, anytime I come back to this design, I can actually then just change out the property information. I don't have to change the logo again. I don't have to change my name again. I am going to put my headshot on there. So I'm just going to replace that placeholder with my headshot so that it's ready to go. If I want to change any information like sold in 14 days, I'm going to change this. We all know this is probably sold in 3 days in today's market. And now I can download this as a PDF for printing, just as a multiple page document or a small file size if I want to just email it out for PDF. If I want to download it as a JPEG to post to Facebook or a PNG, I can do that here. But again, this training is all about ordering prints. So I'm going to take you through that step process again. I'm going to hit order print. It's now going to ask me what paper quality I want to use. Do I want this to be a flyer or a letterhead? I want this to be flyer. And I want this to be, I'm going to do, oh, see, here's a problem. Remember earlier I said we want to make sure that we're using the right country. Let's make sure that we're using United States. Oh, no, it's mad at me. Let's just run with that. We're going to do silk. We're going to do 100 and hit continue. The next step is where we start seeing the bleed areas and the safe lines. Notice here, all of my font is already inside the safe area. All of our designs are designed for that, to keep all of your text boxes inside of the safe area. However, again, you might find that this particular photo is cutting off the oven, and I really want that oven to be shown off there. So I might actually choose to grab this photo right here and move it over just a skosh, and grab this one and move it over just a skosh as well. And put it right there. Super simple to make any changes. I'm going to download the PDF to review. It's going to process that PDF. It's going to download it so I can take a look at it, make sure that I don't have any typos or nothing's blurry or anything along those lines. Once that's done processing, I can check the box that says I've downloaded the print proof to review, and I agree to the terms and conditions, which takes us to the final step. Click, click. Final step, my name, my phone number, my delivery address, and then it's going to give me my shipping options to put in my credit card information, and then it'll mail that delivery right to my office. Okay, so we talked about this new feature inside of Command, printing right from designs. Why we might use this? Well, you might have an open house coming up next week and you want to have some high quality print. You might come in and grab one of the flyers and actually maybe grab one of the flyers that you already have on your bookshelf, or maybe grab a new one and drop your picture on it and switch out your contact information. And then order those prints. You could have those things delivered to your house or to your market center within 4 business days. It's going to tell you, it's very transparent on cost, shipping, everything that you need to know. Remember, this is high quality paper. So this is very thick paper. This is not going to be a standard computer printer that's going to be really flimsy. If you want to print that way, it's going to be probably cheaper to actually just print right from your market center or your home printer. If you want a high quality print, big thing also to remember, this isn't available for all designs. You can do flyers, business cards, postcards, and a handful of other items in there. You cannot do multiple page designs. 2-sided is the most amount of print design that they can do for postcards or even 2-sided flyers. However, we don't have any 2-sided flyer design templates, so you'd have to build that one. And then your pricing gets cheaper as you order more prints. So if I wanted to order 1,000 prints, for instance, you get significantly cheaper, down to like 38 cents per print, which is a fantastic price. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we are now 28 minutes into our class. I told you we had about 20 or 30 minutes worth of content. I want to take this opportunity to just answer any questions that you guys have. What questions do you have about downloading designs or even sending them off to print and having them ordered for you?
So you mentioned about this could be for postcards. You could have them sent to your to business, and then you can address them and send them out.
Absolutely. I've seen agents that will actually have those postcards printed and sent to you, and then you might just use mailing labels to put those on to have them personally delivered to people. Although you can also take those and send them off to a local print house. A lot of top agents that do a lot of farming have a print house where they have a really great price. And so you can for delivery, but maybe their printing is actually expensive. You can actually have those all printed, sent to you. You drop it off at the print house, and then they can stamp, mail, and deliver on your behalf. Works great for every door direct mail if you needed to with that. What other questions do you guys have?
I think you knocked it out of the park there, Zach. So when you teach so well, people don't have questions.
Again, I would recommend when you make your first order 25 or less. Don't go buy 1,000 of these things. You want to see them and feel them before you go and spend $300 on 1,000 different prints, right? Order 20 of them, spend $20. See what that looks like. Make sure that you're happy with that print and that design quality. But I think you'll agree there's so many templates inside of designs, and it's so easy to customize those templates and make them look and feel the way you want them to look and feel. I will remind you, every one of you has a market center tech trainer on your leadership team in your market center. They are very well versed in how to create a design and order print. They've got all the information on how to do it. They can support you with that. If you're having any challenges, you can reach out, schedule time with them. They'll be 100% happy to dive in, answer any questions, and support you with any of those questions. And on behalf of me as the Regional Technology Director for Northern California, Hawaii region, and John Morris, in the Maryland, DC region as Regional Tech Director and the Growth Director there. We are here to support all of you and your Market Center tech trainers with all of your command and technology needs. Eli says we are in awe. I love it. I told you I was going to get you out of here a little early, guys. Chris.
One more quick question. I forget maybe if you mentioned this or not. Can this be done with two-sided flyers or just a single-side flyer?
It can be done with two-sided designs. I at least in theory. I've been told it can be done. I haven't actually done it. But the moment that you do more than a 2-page design, you won't be, the order print option will be there, but when you click on it, it like grays it out.
Okay. And then I would imagine with a two-sided flyer, it would be slightly higher per page because of the extra printing.
That is correct. Yes, it's not double the price because it's less paper, but yes, a slightly higher price because more ink.
Okay.
That's my understanding as well too.
Yeah.
Very good.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Again, go on with your day. Go take territory. Take this extra 30 minutes and go take a new listing or download a new design, or maybe even order a print design for your open house this next week. We've got open houses now available in California, not quite in Hawaii yet, to my understanding. And yet we're right around the corner, guys.
Yeah. Awesome.
Make it a great day. Good to see you.